Hi everyone, it's Andrea over at Sewspire.com, and today I am here to show you how to make this traveler's notebook or traveler's journal. You may have seen these in your local craft shop. It's such a popular trend right now. I personally have been a lifelong journaler and am totally obsessed with paper. So I love this style because this allows me to collect a lot of little notebooks and use those. I basically get a new notebook for every great idea I come up with. So this particular design comes together really easily, and it's going to allow you to accommodate several sizes of notebooks. So I have here in the slip pocket some little smaller ones, and there's a slip pocket on either side. And then in keeping with the traditional traveler styling, I have this elastic band in the center, and there are two of those, and that allows you to open up the notebook at the center there and then slip that into the elastic, and then of course your notebook is secure in there and everything just closes up. What makes this design unique is we're using a laminated material, so it's going to be durable and keep those notebooks, which just have simple paper covers, secure and nice and tidy without, sometimes if you just throw the paper notebook in your purse, it'll get wrinkled up. So shall we get started? What you're going to want to do, because I realize you may have a different size notebook that you prefer, or like I said, they're always creating new ones and they all seem to be a different size. What you're going to want to do is measure your notebook, and I'm going to give you the measurements that I'm using for this cover and then the formula to figure out your own custom cover. So if you'll measure the height of your notebook, and you're going to add 1 inch to the height, and then if you open your notebook up and measure that width across, you're going to want to add 1.5 inches to that width, and then that will become your front and rear body panels. For the pockets, you're going to make the pocket panels 8 inches wide by whatever the height of your notebook is. Okay, so this notebook here measures 5.5 inches wide by 8.25 inches tall. So if you want to shop for that exact size notebook, then you can work with my pattern measurements, which I have 2 pieces for the pockets that are 9.25 inches tall by 8 inches wide. And this is a cotton fabric that I laminated myself. If you're interested in learning what not to do when you laminate fabric, I created a video at the beginning of the year about that. Then go ahead and read the comments and you'll find out how you actually laminate fabric. So I want to thank everybody for their tips, because I did follow those and it worked out much better for me. The real key is using that pressing cloth and moving very, very slowly, like sloth slow with the iron, okay? But an easier thing to do would be just buy your fabric already laminated. Okay, so we have the pocket panels. Then the body panels for this notebook are 9.25 inches tall by 12.5 inches wide. And I have 2 of those. Okay, so take one of those body panels. I want to use this one. And you're going to then fold your pocket panel in half, and then just align those raw edges with the outer edge. Do the same thing with the other pocket. Fold that in half long ways and line that up with the outer edge. Then you're going to take 2 pieces of 1/4 inch elastic, which mine went ahead and measured 11 inches tall. Just add a couple inches to that height of your notebook because we want to tuck this elastic under. Okay, so before you use the elastic, what you're going to need to do is position this exterior panel with the wrong side up, okay? So that's there, and then carefully transfer the panel that we just created with the right sides up, okay? Because this fabric is laminated, the edges should hold up nicely, and we can just have those raw edges. I am going to trim them up so they're straight at the end. So what we have is the exterior layer with the right side facing down, and then we have our interior with the right side facing up and the pockets. Then you're going to position your elastic right just a smidgen left of center for that first piece, and you want to tuck that top edge in between those exterior and interior layers, and go ahead and do that with the second piece too, just slightly off to the right. So you might have like 3/4 of an inch of that elastic tucked in between those two layers. Then use binder clips, or if you have other clips that you like to use, and just clip that down so the elastic's secure, and then you go ahead at the bottom there and tuck that bottom edges of the elastic in between those two layers as well, and clip that with another binder clip. And then straighten up your pockets if they shifted, and go ahead and put a binder clip at the top and the bottom of each pocket. And then when you're working with the laminated fabrics, sometimes your traditional metal foot, like what I have here on my machine, will grab that laminated material and the stitch will not be nice and neat. You can buy a little Teflon foot, and it has a little roller feature at the bottom, and this makes sewing laminate a breeze. A walking foot will accomplish the same thing. So I have my little roller foot on there, and that did come with my Janome. So you may want to check the kit that came with your machine. I had this foot for years and didn't realize it, that I even owned it. So you may have one already. So you're going to take this whole little bundle like that. There's the back side and then the front. And you want to stitch all the way around. I'm just using a very narrow, you could use a 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch is what I use, because that happens to be the prominent mark on my machine, and stitch all the way around that edge. Okay, I made it all the way around, and now what I want to do is, using my rotary cutter and ruler, is I just want to trim up those edges so that they are within at least a 1/4 inch of that stitch line. So if you have the clear ruler, that makes that a lot easier, because you don't want to cut your stitch line. Now, I don't recommend cutting by that elastic, so just stop just a little bit short of that elastic so it stays tucked under. Okay, awesome. Now I have another super cute cover for our traveler's journal / notebook, and I can head to the craft store and pick up some more notebooks. Yay! Let me just show you how that works. So you just slip that right inside of there, and your notebook's in there, nice and secure. You have the pockets for additional things that you want to collect. You could put your little clips here like that and fold those under and hold, stickers or other little notes or things. I think you could divide these pockets as well if you wanted to put business cards or credit cards or whatever. There's a lot of options that and a lot of different ways that you can personalize this particular style. So I hope you enjoyed the project. I will be back soon with another sewing tutorial. Until then, as always, please know the creative genius in me celebrates the creative genius in you. Have a beautiful day, everyone.